What's happening? I hope you're all well. I am in the middle of preparing food. I've got a long day ahead of me. But before I do that, I'm going to quickly make a video. Because I'm so busy, I can't really make separate videos on this, but I just wanted to touch on the 5v5, some of the fights that are taking place. So let's start with Deontay Wilder versus Zhang. I think that this is an intriguing fight between two punchers. I believe that these are potentially the two biggest punchers in the heavyweight division. So I think that when these two come together, you're most likely going to see a knockout, and this knockout can come at any time. When looking at the two fighters, Deontay Wilder, he didn't look good against both of them. Have a common loss, and that is against Joseph Parker. Both of them lost to Parker in their last fights. So it's almost like the battle of the losers, battle for the silver medal, in a way. But in all seriousness, Deontay Wilder versus Zhang is an enthralling fight, an intriguing fight. And if you were to put a gun to my head and say, who do you think is going to win this fight? I would say that if you're looking at past form, Deontay Wilder, he did not look good against Joseph Parker. He didn't look at any point like he's going to stop Joseph Parker. And let me tell you something. Some trainers have this habit of turning fighters into them. And when I look at Deontay Wilder now under Malik Scott, when I watch him against Robert Helenius, in particular against Robert Helenius and against Joseph Parker, I can see almost Malik Scott in Deontay Wilder's game. It's almost like Malik Scott has turned Deontay Wilder into Malik Scott, and that goes against Deontay Wilder's style. So when I look at this, I essentially see Deontay Wilder, who hasn't looked good in recent times. Zhang has actually looked. Zhang is what Zhang is. He's technically proficient, he's a good crafty southpaw, and he's got an extremely devastating backhand with his straight left, and he also has a devastating southpaw right hook. But the problem with Zhang is his stamina. So when I put all of this together and I look at who do I think is going to win this fight, I see this as a most likely outcome of a Zhang win. Because unlike many other fighters like Hrgovic and Joe Joyce, although they were hurt by Zhang, it took a few lefts or a few rights to actually hurt them. I see Deontay Wilder potentially being iced out just by one punch from Zhang. I actually give Zhang more of a chance of taking a full-blooded power shot from Deontay Wilder than I give Deontay Wilder taking a full-blooded power shot from Zhang. I have this feeling that if Deontay Wilder gets hit with hit flush with a straight left, it's lights out. I'm in no way confident in my pick. I think Zhang is less past it. I think Deontay Wilder could potentially be past it, but I'm less confident in my prediction when I say that I think that, between these two guys, because it's two devastating punches, anything could happen at any time. But if you were to put a gun to my head, I would say it'd be Zhang to win this fight. So that's what I'm going with. The next one, Daniel Dubois versus Hrgovic. Again, another really, really interesting fight to me. I don't know why Hrgovic is taking it. I don't know why Hrgovic is taking it. He didn't need to take this fight. The original plan was to wait for his mandatory spot, so he could get called for a world title fight. But he decided to roll the dice against Daniel Dubois, so he must be getting that bag to do that. Daniel Dubois riding the crest of a wave, so people calling him a quitter, and he did quit. Now, I'm not a pro boxer, so I'm not going to go out here and call fighters cowards because I'm not the one taking the punches. But if we're looking at it factually, he quit against Joe Joyce, he quit against Alexander Usyk. Both of those fights he was competitive in, but he ultimately quit from jabs in both of them. So he kind of redeemed himself against Jarrell Miller, but for me, I need to see it one more time before I'm sold. I need to see Daniel Dubois come through adversity and not quit one more time before I'm prepared to forget about the Usyk and Joyce situations. So for me, I'm going to say that, Filip Hrgovic, who does look sloppy sometimes, does get caught, but actually has some technical ability, has a little bit of power there, although I don't think it's huge power. But he also has this knack of hitting fighters on the back of the head and getting away with it. So I wouldn't be surprised at either fighter here, but I've seen Hrgovic in there against Zhang, taking Zhang's power, so I'm fairly confident that as long as Hrgovic doesn't get hit flush a lot, that he'll be able to take at least some of the power down with Dubois and stay away from most of it. And also, I think Hrgovic looks like he's coming in a bit trimmer for this fight. I saw that when the first face-off, he looked a bit trimmer. So, if you were to, again, put a gun to my head, I would be saying probably a Hrgovic win. But again, I'm really, these two predictions I'm not like really confident in. So, I'm going with Hrgovic, but I don't know. That's what makes it interesting. That's why I want to watch it. And I could do one more. I mean, I heard Bivol was taking on an unbeaten miscellaneous fighter. Respect to both fighters, but I think obviously that's going to be a Bivol win. And then there was one more. I know Hamza Shiraz is fine on the card against Ammo. And that'll be a good fight. And Spider Richards versus Willie Hutchinson. I mean, Spider Richards got ability, but sometimes, you know, he doesn't always show up, or he shows you what he can do in spots. Willie Hutchinson, he looked devastating, but then he got beaten by Lennox Clark. So, I mean, the one thing about Richards is he can punch. So, if you were to really say to me, who would you bet your house on winning? I'll say Richards. But again, this is another one. This is a good little card. It would have been an amazing card if it was Bivol and Beterbiev on here. But yeah, I'll be going with Richards probably. Anyway, what do you think about what I spoke about in this video? Who have you got winning these fights? Let me know. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Hit the notification button to get a notification when I make a new video. If you appreciate my work and want to leave a donation, excuse me, link for that is in the description. With that, enjoy the rest of your day. See you in the next one.